Now at 6, the city of Carthage unveils a new destination playground. Plus,
we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look into what it takes to create those big 4th of July fireworks. I'm Anthony Saviello.
And how Tulsa firefighters are taking extra precautions to battle extreme summer heat.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Fort Scott is having their big 4th of July firework display tonight. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Amber Jenkins. KOAM's Anthony Saviello got behind the scenes to look into how these shows come together.
Everyone knows the feeling of sitting down on the lawn with a cold drink in your family as you watch the bright lights and listen to the loud percussion of 4th of July fireworks. But you may not know about how these shows are put together. I went to Fort Scott Community College to get a behind-the-scenes look into what it takes to put these shows together.
So far for the morning, we started about 9 o'clock. We go through, we bring all the tubes out of the storage container, clean them all out, make sure we have no cones that are left, begin placing them where we need them to in the sense of our modules are concerned, start getting the inventory ready to start dropping our aerials, and then we will begin to chain the electronic matches to them to get them ready to fire.
Sean told me that the process for a show this size will take up to 12 hours to set up. Time used wisely to make sure that the display not only looks spectacular, but goes off safely as well. But just in case, Sean also has backup.
Fire department, EMS is going to be here in case there are anything that we need them to go ahead and be brought in for. We'd like to take as many precautions as we can ahead of time, trying to think about the A, B, and C's, what happens if this happens or that happens, and making sure that everybody is trained on site of all the safety precautions that they need to partake in.
This year's display is special for Josh Jones, who was able to organize and raise money this year after previous sponsors stepped down.
Got together and we raised, a little over $12,000 in a few months to be able to put this on. It's such a big thing for the community. It's something, my kids are grown now, but it's still, probably 80-90% of the community can enjoy.
Those fireworks are set to go off just on the other side of campus, but they'll be able to be seen for miles around. Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The fireworks show will begin at 8 o'clock tonight. There will also be food trucks and activities at the fairgrounds just down the road from the campus. The Joplin Public Library is helping feed area children this summer. Starting this Wednesday, any child under the age of 18 is eligible to receive a free sack lunch. Lunches will be handed out Monday through Friday, starting at 11 a.m. in the library's lobby. The library is teaming up with the Joplin School District Nutritional Services to make it happen. Those free lunches are handed out on a first-come and first-served basis. The program runs through August 11th. The City of Carthage and the Chamber of Commerce unveiled a new destination playground today. It's the city's municipal park. The new outdoors play area funding was from a $5 million grant from the Metcalfe Brooks Healthcare Foundation. They hope more than just the city residents take advantage of the new equipment. The grant the city received will fund projects in each of the city's parks. Meteorologist Sam Lanes joins us with the first look at weather.
All right, thank you very much. We have a few showers and thunderstorms on radar, mainly up towards the north. Unfortunately, in the Fort Scott area right now, I know a lot of folks are preparing for the fireworks. Right now, it looks like it's mainly on the south and western sides of Fort Scott, extending eastward into southwestern parts of Missouri near Cole, south of Eve, and north of Garland. We also have another thunderstorm complex over in northwestern Woodson County, north and west of Yates Center. Earlier storms to the south of there have now started to dissipate just a little bit. Your UV forecast for tomorrow, it's going to be up there in the very high category, around 10, which means about 15 to 20 minutes before you start burning. So definitely find some shade and limit your time outdoors. One of the places you can do that is out in the lake, of course. And Grand Lake right now is looking pretty good. Same thing over Table Rock, just a little bit above normal, not too bad. And up in Stockton, about a foot above normal, but water temperature of about 74 degrees. Of course, I'll be back in a few minutes to tell you all about the rest of the holiday forecast when we come back.
With dangerous heat recently, people are looking for ways to adapt. The extreme heat can take a toll on firefighters who often spend hours outside in heavy gear putting out fires and treating people who are injured. The Tulsa Fire Department says just like when it's extremely cold, the extremely heat creates a lot of challenges and even health dangers for their crews. Reporter Reagan Ledbetter takes a look at what the Tulsa Fire Department is doing to stay healthy.
The Tulsa Fire Department says the extreme cold can affect their gear, like fire hoses, but the blazing summer heat takes a toll on the firefighters themselves.
As we determine, how long the operation is going to be, how extensive it's going to be, we send things like our rehab unit, which is a trailer that carries, electrolyte drinks. It has tents they can set up, allowing the firefighters to have some shade.
Andy Little with Tulsa Fire says crews aren't able to work as long, so they'll be pulled out and another crew is sent in. When a crew is pulled out, they pull off all of their gear to cool down, drink water, then go back in if needed.
When they get tired, the chance of injury goes up, whether it's heat-related illness or just in general, soft tissue injuries. So if we can get those folks cooled down, it keeps them safer, allows them to make more responses throughout the day.
Little says they see people leaving kids, pets, or elderly people in hot cars, which is very dangerous.
The temperature in a car rises very rapidly and can get into dangerous temperatures even at an 80-degree day. Now, when you have a day that the heat index is 108, the temperature in that car can become deadly very, very quickly.
Little says in any kind of extreme weather, they encourage anyone traveling to keep their phone charged and keep plenty of water in their cars. A Joplin man is facing charges after a SWAT team was called in on a domestic disturbance. Donald Smith II is facing charges of domestic assault, robbery, and resisting arrest. The incident started Saturday morning about 11 a.m. when officers arrived at the 2100 block of South Sargent. They saw a man enter the home and refused to come out. Authorities called in the SWAT team. They were able to get the man to exit, and then they took him into custody. Police say the firearm was involved in the disturbance, and one victim did suffer minor injuries. A jury finds a man guilty in the 2017 shooting death of a Clinton, Missouri police officer. The jury found 45-year-old Ian McCarthy guilty of first-degree murder. The trial lasted nearly a month, with the state seeking the death penalty. Evidence shows McCarthy shot Officer Gary Lee Michael Jr. during a traffic stop and then left the scene. Officer Michael was a U.S. Army veteran, and he served with the Clinton Police Department for less than 1 year. The jury was unable to reach an unanimous decision on McCarthy's sentence. They did agree that the death sentence could be appropriate. The court will decide McCarthy's sentence at a hearing scheduled for September 8th. Coming up, these may soon be the drones you're looking for, and some companies are looking to incorporate their tech into your 4th of July celebration. Plus, we'll hear from the Carthage High School's new baseball coach. That's ahead in sports. Fireworks have a high-tech competitor this 4th of July. Drone displays are replacing traditional shows in some cities. Colette Borton has the details from an owner of a drone show company.
Got it? The sky's the limit for these heavy boxes. Starting their trip in the dirt. But what's in the boxes is where the work takes off.
Heck yeah, let's talk about some drones.
Thomas Dolan could do that all day.
It gives you a view of the world that you can't get.
His young business, Bright Flight Drone Shows, has dreams of getting hundreds of drones.
All right, I'm gonna hover them.
And these drones really shine at night.
What are the differences between drone shows and fireworks shows?
There's a lot of differences. I certainly don't want to sit here and say that I don't love fireworks. I love fireworks. We know that there are downsides to fireworks.
He says those include injuries, noise pollution, and negative environmental impacts.
Drones, there's nothing. They are clean. It's a drone, our battery. You put them up, they put on a spectacular show, they come back, you're done.
Dolan admits weather can be problematic for drones, and how much they cost is another barrier.
There's limitations with our time frame. We're anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes is our typical drone show.
What would you say to the people who just don't want to watch a drone show? They want to see a fireworks show.
Just give it a chance.
A chance when Dolan believes drones are the way of the future for the 4th of July.
Dolan says his company is putting on private performances this year and hopes to put on larger events in the future. A little later, a Joplin Outlaws pitcher was named Mink League Player of the Week.
And we have some showers and thunderstorms on the radar. I'll be back to tell you what that means for the 4th of July in your forecast when we come back. Well, folks, it was another warm day across the 4 states despite the cloud cover associated with some thunderstorms down in Oklahoma. We'll show you that in a moment. First, let's look outside at Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. You can see those clouds pretty thick in the distance, especially down towards Oklahoma, where they've been dealing with quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity this afternoon. Here in Joplin, we made it up to 93 degrees today after starting out at 68, which was slightly below the normal of 69, but we were a little bit above on the high temperature, and of course we're way behind on the rainfall, approaching 9 inches below normal for the year. Right now you can see a big complex of storms across northeastern Oklahoma, and that's producing the clouds over us. We also have a few scattered showers in our local area. Let's zoom down and show you a little bit closer in view. You can see right near Fort Scott right now, mainly on the south side of Fort Scott, extending over to just southwest of Nevada. Also another big storm up to the north and west of Yates Center, up near Gridley, producing some lightning and some showers and thunderstorms there. Temperatures right now are much cooler in Oklahoma, where the rain has been going on most of the day. You can see 70s in Sedan, 74 in Nowata, 87 in Jay, and then you start getting into the 90s once you get into the metro area, including Pittsburgh with 90, and 90 also over in Carthage, as well as up at Lake Stockton right now. Now, as far as what it's going to feel like tomorrow for your 4th of July, we're expecting temperatures to feeling like 100 plus out towards the west, upper 90s elsewhere across the area. And then as we go into Wednesday, another hot day, especially across Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas, with temperatures feeling like well over 100 degrees. But notice the cooler air is up towards the north, and that's going to be making its way towards us just in time for your Thursday, and also some precipitation. But until then, our rain chances are going to be on the low side for the most part. Just some scattered thunderstorms again tomorrow, and that's because this upper level storm is going to be slowly pulling out. And then as we go into Wednesday, that's when the next surge of colder air and a front will be dropping down from the north and west, and that's when the rain chances are really going to dramatically increase across our area. So that's pretty good news. In fact, we could see around 3/4 of an inch generally across the area, and isolated higher amounts like over an inch in some isolated spots. So that'll be good for the drought situation. Unfortunately, there is a risk of severe weather with those thunderstorms on Wednesday, so that includes all of our area. The main risks are going to be high winds and some hail and also some heavy rain. I don't think we're going to complain about the heavy rain. We just do not need the damaging winds or the large hail, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. Temperatures tonight are going to drop down into the 60s and lower 70s with isolated showers mainly down to the south. And then as we go into tomorrow, we're expecting partly cloudy skies with highs again in the low 90s, isolated storms mainly off towards the east. And then as we go into Wednesday morning, we'll have that front drop down from the north and west, and we'll see scattered showers and storms developing, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Some of those could be strong or severe, with highs in the upper 80s to around 90. And then that front sails through, and as we go into Thursday morning, just some isolated showers and lows near 70. Over the next 7 days, here's the forecast. 20% chance of storms tomorrow with a high of 93 for your 4th of July. Then a 60% chance of storms on Wednesday. Again, some of those could be strong or even severe. And then cooler for Thursday and Friday with highs only in the 80s. And then we begin a slow warm up as we go through the rest of the forecast. But at least it's going to be closer to normal as far as our temperatures. No 100s right now.
Well, I do know the 4 states need some rain, but we don't need that other stuff.
That's exactly right. We'll try to keep that under control.
Well, John Dales joins us now. The Joplin Outlaws are playing their best baseball of the season right now.
Yeah, they most certainly are. The Outlaws have gone on a winning streak that's put them in first place in the Mink League South Division. And I talked to the new head coach of Carthage High School baseball. Hear what he has to say on the other side of the break. Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. The Carthage High School baseball program has undergone a lot of changes in the past few days. Now, a week ago, the Tigers had no stadium to play at and no coach to lead their team. Skip ahead to today. Both those vacancies are filled, to go along with plenty of excitement as well. The Carthage School District announced a new stadium will soon be built, and a familiar name will be the new head coach. Kevin Berge, whose dad coached the Tigers in the mid to late 80s, As the new head coach, he actually stepped away from coaching after leading McDonald County for 4 seasons, but said there were several reasons that made this the perfect opportunity to jump back in.
You know, there's a couple of things. One is just the game of baseball been such a big part of my life, and then you miss it for a year, and then the opportunity kind of presents itself. You know, my wife and I talked at length about it, and you know, you sit back and look at the community that my wife was raised in. I've been around it forever, and it feels like it was just the right time to make the move. We were ecstatic about it. You know, one of the best things ever was when I got to go home and tell my kids that we were going to coach again, and you know, they were excited. So.
The next high school baseball season still a long way down the line, but summer collegiate baseball here in the 4 states is heating up right now. Joplin Outlaws have been going up and down this season, most recently trending up though, thanks in a large part to one player's contribution. That being Chris Massey, a pitcher originally from Willard, Missouri, is wrapping up his time as the Mink League Player of the Week this week. Now he received this honor after a week where he didn't allow a single run, only gave up 3 hits through 10 days, and he's the first Outlaw player to receive Player of the Week recognition from the league office so far this summer. Now the Outlaws are winners of 4 in a row entering today, making them the hottest team in the league, and it just shows you how quickly things can change because less than a week ago, Joplin had a 3-game losing streak, bringing it to last place. Tonight, the Outlaws play Nevada, a little bit of a different game than usual, this one being played at Pitt State. Starts up an hour earlier than normal as well, so it's already underway. That's also because there will be fireworks after this one wraps up. Now we'll have complete coverage of the game and highlights of it tonight at 10. And wrapping things up with Major League Baseball, it's been a much better summer for the local teams than the pros out in Kansas City and St. Louis. Still a long ways to go in the regular season though, and both the Cardinals and Royals in action tonight. Starting with St. Louis, Cardinals traveled down to Miami to take on the Marlins. They're coming off that series win over the Yankees over the weekend. Now Miami's a good team this year though. The Marlins currently in 2nd place in the NL East. We'll keep you updated on how this one turns out tonight at 10. Meanwhile, the Royals also on the road but staying within the division. Kansas City plays Minnesota tonight. The Twins haven't had a great season either. They're currently a game below 500, but with how terrible the AL Central has been, it's good enough for first place in the division. Royals and Twins start at 7-10. We'll let you know how that one turns out.
Alrighty. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty good game, and I know people are waiting for it.
Yeah, they definitely are. And that Outlaws game, big as well. You know, getting to play in a different stadium than usual, kind of fun.
Pretty exciting. Well, that's it for sports. We're back after this. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. How a Southwest Missouri family has been impacting their small town community for several years. Plus, the 3rd annual fireworks display kicks off at Chatters in Pittsburgh. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. What's going on for weather?
Well, we have a few thunderstorms out there right now. Hopefully they're not going to have a big impact on the fireworks tonight. They'll be dissipating once the sun goes down, but bigger storms on Wednesday. Some of those could be strong or severe, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And then cooler behind that frontal system, and then a slow warm up, but at least closer to normal next week.
Looking good. What's going on in sports?
Yeah, that weather holding off for the Outlaws game happening right now. They're playing the Griffins, so we'll keep you updated on that one. We'll have highlights tonight.
All right. Well, thank you for watching and be safe. We're doing this all again at 10 o'clock. Have a safe evening.